Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Daniel, and in today's video I'm talking about HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Let's start off with HTML. Now, if you are planning on pursuing a web development career or something, then you will need this language, especially when you are doing with the front end web development. You really need them. It comes in handy, I would say. HTML is an acronym that stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's used in making up a particular section of the web page and make it more readable for the user. HTML is basically produced with tags, elements, HTML elements like the H1 for the heading 1, H2 heading 2, and more tags like italics, emphasize, um, a lot more div. We have a lot numerous tags in HTML. Now HTML is just basic like web page structure. Then use it in structuring your web page and make it look more better and more meaningful. Say you are a human being, yeah, and HTML is like the skeleton of every human being. So without HTML, the web page cannot be made, or you would not have anything on your web page. HTML actually provides the ability for you to have content on the web page. CSS. This is also another makeup language for web page, and it's used to style your HTML. Now, CSS is another acronym that stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And as its name implies, it's just a style sheet that styles your HTML tags and moreover styles your web page. So CSS basically beautify your HTML elements and makes the website look more beautiful. CSS has also a lot of syntax. So you style you make up paddings, you make up margins, you draw borders, you do a lot of padding. Like you just basically add colors, you add simple animation, you do a lot more with CSS. But just keep it in mind that it only styles your HTML page, like that's your web page. Then JavaScript, on the other hand, is like a more programming language thing. You have JavaScript is a complete programming language, and it's it's kind of very interactive. It helps with the interaction between the user and the website. So, like you're surfing on the internet, say you want to get something from Jumia, JavaScript bring the ability for the user to be able to interact with the web page. You click or you search something on Jumia. You want to get an iPhone 13, then you just type your iPhone 13, you search it, then your phone pops up, you click it, it now adds chat that you've added something to your chat and that you want to get that item. Then JavaScript is basically what's making all that shit possible. So that's the work of JavaScript. It helps in interacting with the user. Now JavaScript also have something like event listeners that when a user click a particular button on the web page, now the browser will be able to understand that this is what the user wants and this is what should be served to the user. So JavaScript basically listen to whatever decision the user is giving it and immediately or simultaneously accomplish that mission, like does what the user wants. So the relationship between these three are actually super incredible, and they are like triple bond. Like if you've learned about organic chemistry, then you should know what I'm talking about. JavaScript, HTML, and CSS works hand in hand. So I would likely say they are like the Trinity. If you are a religious type and you've known about Christianity, then you should know what exactly I'm talking about. You should know what exactly I'm talking about, like God, Jesus Christ, and Holy Spirit. These are three people who works as one person. So Trinity, they do things like are similar to each other. They work one on one. They have one decision to take. They have one mission to accomplish, and they do things in one accordance. So that's almost how CSS, JavaScript, and HTML works. So three of them basically serve almost the same purpose or try to accomplish one particular thing, and that's saving the user. So, with all this being said, I would like to go more deep on what you can do with each of these things. JavaScript is more like a real life computer language, and it's an oriented computer programming language, which is very, very broad. Yeah, to some extent, JavaScript can also do some few works with the HTML. JavaScript have I made a video about JavaScript, the simplicity of JavaScript, and you basically need few stuff to know JavaScript in depth. Those were the DOM and the BOM, that's the browser object model, and some few JavaScript syntax. So basically, the DOM are actually browser or objects that helps with some objects that's given to you by every browser out there, and helps with the interaction between the documents that you've written, which is your HTML documents, of course, and you'll be able to interact with those HTML tags, bringing information or putting information in those tags, write new tag, element tags, and putting information. You'll be able to work with form that if the user have to input a form or fill a form on your web page, you'll be able to do that with the the BOM, and it would actually make it kind of easy for you to, you know, talk with the front end web development, like put things out there for the user, and when once the user clicks on anything, it listens on it. Then while the browser object model, that's the BOM, then that's more like I was even saying shit that time. The DOM document object model is the one that's put things in the HTML tags and receive the information from there, and work those information out, and then send the result back to the user, or better still, keep them in the savers for future purposes and all of that. While the BOM browser object model helps with the interaction between the browser and the user. Say user click on a particular spot on the web page, now the BOM helps with bringing that value, that exact position, and make it understandable for the computer to understand, like this is where the user click, and if this is what should happen if the user should click such point or such place, or happen to work with such position on that web browser, then this should happen. Or if the user is scrolling down to this extent, this is what should happen. Or if the user is expanding the browser window, then this is what should happen. So browser object model helps with the interaction between the user interface, be it the user device, and the code behind it, the execution of the code behind it. So with all this being said, I don't think it's quite complex like that for you to still start your way in computer programming, especially learning JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. HTML is just basically tags. We have different tags, HTML tags. We have the heading tags. We have div tags. We have just have some few tags that helps with your work. I would not love to go like start listing them here. Those will be on different videos. The CSS also uses some CSS syntax. You bring a CSS an HTML tag, then you tell it if you want a color with that HTML tag, or if you want all the HTML with H1 tags, that's the heading 1 tag, should be in black color, or should have a padding, or should have margin, and all of that. And then positioning, CSS helps in positioning each of these tags and putting them in different sections and making the web page look more beautiful. I would love to really say more about this, but for the meantime, just know that it comes in handy if you really learn and understand these things. Like if you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, especially the fundamentals, then you would be able to do good and not have any difficulty while learning computer programming.